Hey everyone, it's Robin, and this is just going to be a very quick little video, just something that came to me today, or I guess a realization I had today while practicing yoga, and that is the idea of practicing trust in your lovingness. Because I realized for myself that there are these parts of me who are constantly in a state of telling me you're not good enough and you need to do more. So you need to work more, you need to make more money, you need to practice more, you need to get better at what you're doing, you need to be more visible, more social, everything. It's never enough. There's this constant pushing. And I realize that some part of me is trying to find safety in that, in the constant forward momentum, in the I'm never enough. And there's almost a distrust in just being okay with who you are. Because I think there is a conditioning, and I know I see this in myself, but I think it's true of many other people, and definitely of many people that I also have worked with, is that we are conditioned to believe that that it's not safe to feel like you're enough. That you need to be constantly criticizing yourself and improving yourself. Because if you don't improve yourself, then other people are going to just you're going to be left behind. And when you get left behind, then eventually you're going to die, or you're going to suffer. Or you'll just end up at the end of the food chain and you have to do, I don't know, you're going to be everybody's doormat or something like that. And that's a very serious fear. But it keeps us in this state of just constantly having to push for more because we're scared. And I feel like that's something that we can also see just collectively in the world out there. We have more than enough, and yet we keep pushing for more. More output, I don't know, more AI smartness, more fossil fuels, whatever. And we know that it's destroying our environment, and still we cannot stop. Because we think if we stop, we'll die. Or something inside of us believes that. At least that's my theory. And so I think it's important for us to learn to trust in our lovingness. And lovingness, I think, spiritually speaking, means our connectedness. And I think when we're constantly trying to improve ourselves and constantly trying to be more, to be better than, and to be more distinguished, then there's something inside of us gets hard. Like our heart starts to close. And it's actually, or I can at least see in myself, it's harder for me to connect with people. Because if I'm in a state where I'm constantly telling myself that I'm not good enough, then it's kind of scary to connect with people that I don't know. Because, they might see that I'm not good enough. And also, of course, I'm radiating an energy of you're not good enough, and that's not a very pleasant energy to be around. And that, in turn, then becomes a problem at some point, because it's very difficult to make friends and network and just feel connected. And it makes you feel isolated. Rather than if you manage to let go of that need to be constantly pushing yourself, and just try to open your heart and really literally let go. As in, I know I'm doing this because it makes me feel safe, but I have to let myself go here and trust. And that's what faith is, in my opinion. It's this deep trust in something greater. And in this case, it would be lovingness. It's love, which I think can be used as a synonym for God. If you do that, then first of all, in my experience, the fear starts going away, the anxiety starts going away. Because there is a felt sense of being connected. and you feel your own capacity to love, which means your own capacity to connect with other people, your own capacity to apply yourself to something, but also your own capacity to be creative and create something for yourself. And it's really our creativity that's going to help us survive also. And I mean, being loving doesn't always have to mean that you're being nice and you're being lenient with everything. Like you can have loving self-discipline. You can have loving firmness. It's important to have that. But it's a different energy than you're not good enough. Now work harder. But in order for us to be able to dwell in this space and become a force for connection, we have to learn how to trust in the lovingness rather than trusting in, I don't know, just hard work. Trusting in all of these things that we accumulate in order to make us feel safe and okay. But trusting in our own lovingness. And then when we have that, then we can tolerate change. Because, for example, part of me is always a little bit scared that because I'm a musician and a coach and like an artist, I aspire to become a writer. So it's really important for me to be able to be creative. And a part of me is just scared of having to do some kind of just dull, stupid job where, my life is just going to get drained out of me and I can't really be myself and I can't, fulfill my need to be creative. And at the same time, I feel like when I manage to trust and relax back into my own lovingness, then then I can see or I can feel that, I can create things for myself. Even if I end up working, I don't know, in a bakery somewhere, in a factory, there's going to be ways in which I can turn that into like some positive experience, or I will be able, there's going to be something meaningful there I can do, if only that I just try to be a positive force and a source of support for the other people who are there with me. But then, of course, like if I trust in my own creativity and my own quality and my own willingness to do good, to genuinely do something good here, then I also feel like I don't need to worry so much about like not being hired somewhere or something, because that's what people are looking for. So basically what I'm trying to get at is when we're in that state of you're not good enough, we are setting us up to be afraid. We're setting us up to get anxious. And if we trust and relax back into lovingness, then that fear goes away and we actually start seeing more possibilities. Because that sense of not being good enough, that constant self-criticism, it makes us smaller, it makes us harder, it makes us narrower. And I think we are less capable of just perceiving opportunities that we might have, because our heart is small. And if we learn how to trust and relax into our own lovingness, then we actually see that there's so many opportunities. And there's so many, there are some really awful people out there, but there also are really, really many kind people out there who like helping other people. And and we can trust in that. We can trust that there is going to be enough love out there to support us, no matter what happens. And I think that's really something that as humanity we need to collectively learn, because I think this is why we can't stop what we're doing, because we're not trusting. And we're not trusting in each other. And so we have wars, and everybody's trying to accumulate as much power as possible, and we're destroying ourselves and the planet in the process. Like the Ukraine war is about power. There is not like an actual, it's about maintaining power for Putin, probably, and then just and being safe in that regard, because we're not trusting each other not to be awful to ourselves. So yeah, so maybe that's a good practice in the morning, or perhaps multiple times a day, just to check in with yourself and noticing what state am I in, how connected am I to my innate lovingness, and if I'm not, can I let go a little bit? Can I don't know, remind myself that I'm empty, that I am connected, and sink back into that and open my heart, and in that sense also just making people feel safe around you. I think the more we can reduce our fear of each other in the world, the better. And the more open-hearted people we have, I think the easier that's going to be. All right. So that was all I wanted to share with you today. I hope you have an amazing day. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang, and blessings.